everybody, jambo, habari yenyu. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you again, guys, because of coming to Baraka Global Media. Thank you because of choosing to come and watch the content that I share here with you guys. I am truly, truly grateful. If you are here for the first time, please feel at home. Karibu sana. Karibu means welcome. Make yourself comfortable and join Team Baraka. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys, I keep telling you, you are the reason that I keep coming and coming back with more and more information. Team Baraka, thank you very much because of helping me grow this channel. Without your support, without you being there, this channel would not grow. So again, I am indebted to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you guys because of all your overwhelming support. Now, guys, in today's video, I have yet another interesting topic that I want to talk about. Today, we are going to be doing comparison and analysis. But before I do that, I would like to tell you about the services of Optiven. Optiven is the sponsors of my videos, and they are land developing companies that are based in Kenya. They have different projects in different parts of Kenya. And guys, I want you to contact them, start investing with Optiven from today because this is the biggest, the best, and the most reliable land company that I know that is based in Kenya. Please take time and listen to this word from the sponsors of my videos.
Invest and build at Optiven's ultimate solution for genuine property ownership fused with luxury living and affordability. With our fully stocked supermarket of value-added residential and commercial properties in prime locations across the country, we cater to all your needs. Some of our projects include Achievers Paradise in Ngong, Ushindi Gardens in Nakuru, Great Oasis Gardens in Nanyuki, Kidhimani Springs along the Thika Garissa Road, Hekima Gardens in Nyeri, Garden of Joy in Machakos, Wema Gardens in Narumoru, Tulivu Gardens at Konza Technopolis, and Love Gardens, Kajiado County.
Okay, guys, so invest wisely, invest with Optiven, don't be left behind. Now, straight into my topic now, guys, I want us to look into the differences between the UK and the US. The other day, I spoke to you about Canada, and I did cite some differences between the UK and Canada. In today's video, I want us to focus within the US and check the difference so that when you're making your decision, you can have an informed choice where you want to go and work. Now, many of you, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I am based in the UK. I live in a place called Manchester. Manchester, oh yay! We're doing well, upande wa football, we're not complaining. Anyway, I'm not here for football, but football fans, yeah! Yeah, so it's that season again. Anyway, so one of the key differences between the UK and the US, most of you will know that the US have something that is called a green card. And with a green card, it is a lottery. So you play to win that lottery. And if you win, like if you win this year, you travel to the US the following year. And it is again based on the lottery. You complete that lottery online. And you can, if you've got a family, you can put in your family member so that when you do win, you'll be able to travel with your family. Now, UK, we don't have green cards. There's nothing like green cards here in the UK. But what we have here in the UK is different types of visas that you can immigrate with. So I predominantly talk about the skilled worker visa, and that is a visa that can allow you to come to the UK with your family. So whoever gets the visa, if you're a family, if your spouse, one of the spouse gets the visa, you'll be able to immigrate here with your family because it is, you're able to put them as dependents in your claim. Now, the differences is in the UK and the US when it comes to moving here with your family is US houses are much bigger. This is from my own experience having visited the US. The houses are much bigger. And people do seem to get hosts easily. So like you can be able to get a host that's going to accommodate you and your family if you do immigrate to the US. But now if you come to the UK houses are not as big as the US houses. So for example, if you do get a family that is wanting to relocate, pengine ni a family member from your from your side, or maybe even a family friend, and they want to come with the whole family, it's very, very difficult to host a whole family in the UK houses, because our houses are not that big. So some of you may be thinking, why are our family members not telling us about these job opportunities in the UK, Sharon? Kwani hawataki tukuje? They don't want us to have a better life like they do. No, guys. It's because the living condition here in the UK is very, very different from the living condition perhaps in the US, because somebody was telling me, I got somebody who moved to the US with the whole family, and they got a host and they were able to be hosted. The whole family was able to be hosted by a friend or by a family member. Mbona UK, you're not doing things like that. It's not that easy here in the UK. Even when you have a house, it is only enough for the family that you have, because the houses here are not that big compared to the houses in the US. When you're applying for a skilled worker visa, there are some companies here. Now I'm talking about here in the UK. There are some companies that are actually helping people to start off. So they are helping you with that initial accommodation for 30 days. And some of them are actually going up to a point where they are providing you with an air ticket to come if you're not able to pay for your air ticket. Remember, guys, I keep telling you, the skilled worker visa, these people need you. They need your service. They need you to come and work for them. So it is not for you to go and start looking for money, start borrowing, or start having loans so that you can get money to buy for the tickets. Ask your employer, I am in this situation, I'm not able to afford an air ticket. Could you kindly purchase a flight ticket for me to come and work there in the UK? And guys, I keep telling you, there is nothing wrong in asking. Ask, and they will see you're confident. What they normally look at is to see how confident you are. Okay, so that is one of the differences. I think nimetoka tu kidogo hapo. As I was trying to explain, I wanted to speak about the housing situation first, and the difference of the house situation, or the houses in the US and the houses here in the UK. Okay, number 2 difference. The other difference, guys, is US is massive, as in it has, I don't know how many states, I think it's 54, correct me if I am wrong, but there are so many states. So you've got different options when you are in the US. UK, just the whole of the UK, is only a tiny island. In fact, it can fit into 11 states in the US. That is how small the UK is. So if you're thinking about massive opportunities compared to the US, you're not going to get all those opportunities, all those working opportunities here in the UK compared to the US, because geographically, US is bigger than the UK. Like I said, the UK can fit into 11 states, 11 member states of the US. So again, that is something to consider in terms of opportunities. You will see that there'll be more opportunities in the US than the UK. Now, you could argue and say that getting a green card is not that easy, but getting a skilled worker visa is equally not that easy, guys. So in both ways, you still need to put effort. You put effort when you're making application for your green card application to go to the US. You equally put effort when you're making an application to come here in the UK and do the skilled worker visa. Another difference that I know is when it comes to driving. So people who are in the US, they drive, they keep to the right when they are driving. And here in the UK, we keep to the left. Most African countries, they keep to the left when driving. So when it comes to maybe adapting to driving, the UK, I find it easier because the roads are the same, like the most African roads. It's going to be not very different. But when you go to the US, they have big highways, they have wider roads, and also they drive on the opposite direction. So that can be a bit confusing. Again, that's worth noting when you're relocating. Get to know your driving, get to know some of those driving rules, because it's going to be important. It is important to have a car. A car in these Western countries is not a want, it is actually a need, because you will need your car to drive from point A to point B. You will need it to go to work. So it is actually necessary. In the UK, there are some parts, again, which you can travel using buses. So that makes it a bit easier, but it's not all places that have that good transport network connections that you're able to drive with trains and buses. And even when there are, it still takes a lot of time to use public transport as opposed to using your own car when you want to drive to work. Okay. Again, it depends on the area you're living here in the UK to check about the public transport and how that works and how that operates. Okay, another thing maybe to consider is the distance. So here in the UK, where we are in the world map, we are closer to Africa than the US is. So when it comes to maybe flying back to Africa, let me just give an example of my favorite, Kenya. So flying from the UK to go to Kenya, it takes about 7 or 8 hours. That is how short it is. Flying from Kenya to the US takes longer. It can take up to 22 hours, depending on the stopovers, how long or where, whichever countries that you're going to be stopping in between before you get. There is a direct flight now from Nairobi Jomo Kenyatta Airport to New York. I'm not sure whether it is 13 or 18 hours, but it is still a very long flight compared to 7 hours from the UK to Kenya. That, whether it's 13 or 18 hours, is still a very long flight. And so you can imagine how tired you get going to the US from Kenya. And that is why maybe most people choose the UK, because we are kind of in the center. It's easy for us to go to Kenya. It's easy for us to go to the US. Now, from here to go to the US is another 8 to 9 hours. And you see now the opposite direction going to Kenya is another 7 to 8 hours. So that's something else to note and to consider when you're deciding whichever country you want to go to. And maybe something else is about childcare. Childcare both ways is the same. So I'm not going to say that is a difference, because if you have children and you're relocating with your family, with your children, you will need to organize childcare when you're going to work for who's going to look after your children. It is not allowed to leave your children in the house by themselves as you go to work. You have to look for a childminder, or you take them to play places or to the childminders, or you get somebody that is going to come and look after them in your own house. But you cannot leave them alone. And that's the same thing with US. When you're moving to the US and you have children, you also have to have somebody that is going to look after your children. When you're going to work, you cannot leave your children alone in the house. It is not permitted. That is illegal. Yeah, I think those are some of the key differences and similarities between the UK and the US. So you guys, when you're making the decision to relocate whichever country, whether it is UK, US, Canada, whichever country, there's always things that you need to consider before you move. And I thought, let me come and tell you those key differences, guys. So as you're making your decisions, you are making an informed decision. Yeah, guys, and if you like my content, please don't forget to leave me a nice comment down below. Thank you guys again for always coming to support my channel. Thank you because of helping me to grow. And guys, don't forget to go and check out my other channel, Sharon or Baraka Vlogs. I told you I separated the content for you so that I am only bringing you content about immigration in this channel, and on the other channel is where I put everything: travel, lifestyle, cooking, all those nice things. Go and support that channel as well and help me to grow it. And until I come back with another video, guys, for now I say Baraka.